Yeah. 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 Chrome hearts at the Caesar's Palace. I was a sneaker savage, undefeated baggage. K-bar, you could be established. A 230s, that's 69s. You can eat a salad while you feed a phallus. I speak in palettes that compete with graphics. At the speed of cheetah gallops at indecent average. Chopsticks when I be eating.
And we're back. It's Mano a Mano 70 with my main man, K.O. Kenny T. Kenny, it was an interesting week of boxing. I mean, it was supposed to be. Oh, we got a little feedback there. It was supposed to be Terrence Crawford against Errol Spence Jr., but we did not get that, Kenny. We did not get that. Big up to Joe, to the JC, main man of my main man, Joe Habib. Let me ding the bell for JC. He's up in here. But let's get right into it, Kenny. And I got to do that again for JC. Technical difficulties to start the show, but yes, it is World Cup time. I was about to say season, but it's not season. Happens once every 4 years. All right, so we're going to wrap this up in about an hour, Kenny, and then people could get off to their football viewing. But Kenny, let me know your thoughts on the whole weekend. I just want you to cook for a minute on this weekend's action. Go for it.
Very lackluster. How's it going, everybody? What's good? From Manhattan, Washington Heights, mad love. Let's go. K.O. Kenny on the mic. Let's get it. But nah, yo, it was a lackluster weekend. A lot of whatever fights, a lot of throw-up fights, including Jaime Munguia's fight. It was just a throw-up fight. It was a blah blah whatever fight. He should have never been fighting that guy to begin with. He should be ashamed of himself. Slap on the wrist, Papa, because you slacking at this point. You come on now. You're 40-something fights in. What are you doing? You're starting to remind me of Jamal. At least you're fighting, but you fighting doodoo.
He's fighting your favorite fighter next. Is that finally getting announced?
Who's my favorite fighter?
Boo Boo Andrade.
Right. I guarantee you he won't fight Boo Boo Andrade. I put my money on it. And even if they was to talk about it, Boo Boo will probably back out of it, or Jaime will back out of it last minute, like the negotiations that they had. I forgot who it was last time. Bro, he ain't fighting nobody. Oh, 2023 is my year. I want to see it first. When I see it, I will believe it. You know, I'm not a fan of Jaime Munguia and what he's doing. You're 40-something fights in. He was looking great around, what was it, around 20 fights maybe?
Yeah, he was looking good then. People were really excited about young Jaime at the time. You know, young Jaime was, excuse me for that, young Jaime was supposed to fight Triple G at a certain point, but the commission got involved and stopped the fight. That Jaime was looking really good, and, you know, he did show some improvement as well, I thought, coming off of the Deadness Hogan fight, where I don't think he looked very, very good. He showed some improvement under Eric El Terrible Morales, who, funny enough, I didn't see in his corner yesterday. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe it was a substitute coach. But, yeah, continue on young Jaime, Kenny.
He just he's not impressive. He was impressive around 20-something fights, you know, like you said. He looked okay against Hogan. And then after looking okay against Hogan, he fought some worse opponents, and I guess saw a bunch of cherry picks trying to pick up his defense, because he was definitely lacking in defense when he was younger. And then he fought Gabe Rosado. That was like his next big fight. Look at the fingers. Big fight, because Gabe Rosado's not a big fight. A man that has damn near 10 losses, that's not a big fight. You're giving the man credit for beating a dude that has damn near 10 losses. I could probably go into boxing and put it on Gabe Rosado. I'm talking trash because I'm not a boxer. I'm exaggerating, you know what I'm saying? But you get what I'm saying.
So for our audience listening to the audio, you know, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all of that good stuff, Kenny was dropping the air quotes just now. What was interesting to me, Kenny, was this fact. You mentioned the fact that he was in some quote unquote big fights.
No. That's the big fights to his fans. The quote unquote big fights. Quote unquote big fights.
Well, I mean, we're talking about a guy who's been either a mandatory or ranked number 1 in under sanctioning bodies in the middleweight division for years now. I thought he'd be fighting for the championship of the world, but it hasn't happened yet. And this is the telling factor to me, fam. And I went to Twitter about this morning. I mean, you see that in the background, right, Kenny?
yeah. The basketball hoop.
He's fighting in like, I won't go all the way and call it high school gymnasium, but I'll call it community college gymnasium.
They could at least put the court up, bro.
I mean, they cared so little about this fight that took place in like a 4,000 seat venue that they didn't even remove the basketball systems. They couldn't even be bothered to remove the basketball systems. You know, I don't know what to say. Like, listen, who do we see Jaime up in there against next?
There's a million opponents he can have.
Triple G was called out after the fight. Okay. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
I think Triple G will knock him the fuck out.
Really? Wow. My man's giving Jaime Munguia the Zurdo treatment now.
Jaime gets zero credit.
You're giving him the Zurdo treatment, the treatment you gave Zurdo. So Triple G is an option, right? Jamal Charlo, that could be an option. The funny thing is, I don't think either Triple G or Charlo have fights lined up that are bigger than this. So why not? As far as I'm concerned, why not? Let's let that happen. Or I wouldn't mind seeing the WBA regular champion up there against Munguia. I wouldn't mind seeing Erislandy Lara. But give me anything, and it's going to be better than what we saw last night.
Lara beats Munguia too.
Because this was a joke. This was a joke. And it was so bad. You know, I actually turned on the Misfits card.
I was watching the Misfits card the whole time. What you talking about?
I actually turned on the Misfits card. Those of you who know me know that I don't give a fuck about the NFL. Fuck the NFL. I hate the NFL. But I do watch some college football. I saw Ohio State yesterday struggle with Maryland, right? I saw Michigan get the dub. We got Michigan, Ohio State next week. All right, that should be a good one. But, okay, they had Hasim Rahman Jr., which was the big fight of the night. I'm also using air quotes. That was the big fight of the night, right? It was Hasim Rahman Jr., who was supposed to take on Jake Paul, but didn't, because he couldn't make the contracted weight, come anywhere near it, actually. And he got dropped and then shut out by an overweight 300-pound plus guy that got washed out of the NFL. And, you know, as bad as that was still better than this.
So much better.
That's how far Jaime Munguia has fallen from where he once was a few years ago. And that's sad. You know, I gotta do it, Kenny. Because
I'm all with it.
This deserved that I had to bring out the buzzer. But Kenny, tell me why you watched the Misfits card. I'm not even gonna mention the fact that Anthony Yarde fought on the undercard of what seemed like a leisure center show. I say leisure, not leisure. Over here we say leisure, but over there they say leisure. So I'm gonna talk it about it the way they say in England. It was a leisure center show. And Anthony Yarde was on the undercard of that, fighting a guy I'd never heard of, really. And we're supposed to believe now that he has a shot against Artur Beterbiev. Kenny, talk to me. As it relates to this weekend, I'm done.
This weekend was terrible for boxing. Seriously, terrible in boxing. I had some guests over at my home yesterday, and I put both the YouTube fighting card in one screen, and I had the DAZN fighting. Well, they was both DAZN fighting cards, but I had them on different screens, right? And I had the YouTube fighting card on the little screen, and I had Munguia's fight card on the big screen. Like it's like 4 times the size of the little screen. Tell me how everybody's in my home is plastered to the little screen watching the YouTube fight. Nobody, not a single person was watching the fight on the big screen. Everybody's on the little screen watching the YouTube fight and hearing the announcers for the YouTube fight. So put the volume of this one, lower the top one. The top one's trash. Lower the top. I'm like, wow, these aren't guys that watch boxing. These are just, people, regular people that watch sports overall together. They don't focus or concentrate on boxing like we do. So it's crazy. It's terrible. I can't get over how terrible of a fight card it was. And you do got to give the props to the YouTube dudes. They was hella entertaining. The announcers were entertaining. Not the announcers, the commentators cast, all the analysts on the table, they was entertaining. The whole KSI versus the MMA guy shit and the in the face WrestleMania screaming and you don't want it with me, bro. That was so much more entertaining. That was so much more entertaining than watching Jaime Munguia. That shit's funny. But Hasim Rahman, bro. I said it last time. Jake Paul would have washed Hasim Rahman up, and everybody was like, "Oh no, you're wrong. Jake Paul don't got it. Jake Paul this, Jake Paul that." And Maestro agreed with me too that Jake Paul would have put it on Hasim Rahman, and Hasim Rahman backed out that fight. Also, I'd like to add that Hasim Rahman, the excuse was that he couldn't make the contracted weight. Anybody could drop that amount of pounds. What was like 10 or 12 pounds or something in like a month. Anybody could drop that amount of pounds in that amount of time, especially if you're a professional for millions or hundreds of thousands of dollars. Please, I dropped those pounds in 3 days. Stop playing. That was all an excuse. He knew he was going to lose against Jake Paul. That's why he backed out of that fight. And I still wholeheartedly believe that Hasim Rahman Jr. will get knocked the fuck out by Jake Paul. Super sad to see. And no, there's no way that Anthony Yarde has a shot against Artur Beterbiev. He doesn't have a shot. I said it beforehand. He never had a shot, especially not after the Lyndon Arthur fights getting knocked out and the first one getting knocked out by Kovalev. No, he doesn't have no shot. He's gonna catch a crazy hook to the body from Beterbiev. Then he's gonna catch a crazy hook to the head, and down and out for the count goes Anthony Yarde in the early parts of the fight. Watch it. Why do we want to see this? Why are they doing this to us? Let's just skip to the real good stuff and let's skip to Bivol Beterbiev.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. Bivol Beterbiev is the way to go. I just said it, man, and I'm going to say it again. And I saw Tony in the chat. Big up to Tony. Because we're going to be talking about your boy in a moment, Tony, and I'm talking about Gervonta Tank Davis. Okay, but, you saw what I saw.
Team Ellaby, huh?
We saw Anthony Yarde leaving the big city, the big lights of London, all right, and going to a small town in England to fight on the undercard in a leisure center. And we saw him spark out. I don't even know what letter grade we give his opponent. I don't want to be disrespectful, so I'm gonna give it an NC, no credit. All right, here in the DOE in New York City, that's a grade. A kid hasn't shown up enough. He's been absent too much, right? We don't necessarily fail them. We just give them an NC, no credit. He gets no credit, okay? You don't go from no credit to Artur Beterbiev. It doesn't happen. You don't do it.
He should have been looking for Artur Beterbiev before when he had 0 losses, that he was looking like a beast, knocking everybody out, knocking all the lesser opponents out. Yes, but he was knocking everybody out at that point.
Absolutely. Right.
That was his moment.
And the idea that a fight with Anthony Yarde is going to be slowing up a unification fight between Bivol and Beterbiev. Look, unless Beterbiev need a tune-up, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, but that's what this fight would actually be at this point. A tune-up. All right? Unless he needs a tune-up before taking on Bivol, just get straight to Bivol Beterbiev. We don't need to see Yarde against Beterbiev.
Now they getting Yarde the bag. I think it's Warren getting Yarde the bag, fighting for Warren for Yarde to get his shot against Beterbiev. Look, bro, Warren knows that Yarde is gonna lose. Yarde knows that Yarde is gonna lose. Yarde's team Atunde knows that Yarde is gonna lose. But you know what? They're all like, "Oh my God, big bag, Beterbiev, big bag, big bag. Let's get our guy knocked out for the big bag. Come on, we just want the money. Come out."
Modern King Boxing, Beterbiev good, but y'all acting like Beterbiev a shoe-in. That's
what's
exactly
what's a shoe-in?
What I'm saying. That's a shoe-in is an expression like he guaranteed to win.
Oh, 100%. 100% guaranteed to win. Hands down. I'll put my entire bank account on him.
It's a big-time shoe-in, and it's not like the shoe-in with the little kids where, Uncle Kenny, can you help me tie my shoes? I don't know how to do that yet. Or the abuelo, with the creaky back and the bad knees, say, listen, Nieto, look, can you help me just put the shoes on, please? This is an easy shoe-in. This is a house slippers shoe-in kind of fight. We're just slipping those in nice and easy for Beterbiev. I'm sorry. I was there live in a couple times for Beterbiev fights. And the last time I saw Beterbiev live, he absolutely destroyed Joe Smith Jr. Absolutely destroyed him. I lost track. We had a super chat here I need to get to from Drew Irish. Big up, Drew. A month before Ryan Tank fight, it gets called off. Prediction. Book it. Prediction right there. So
that's a good prediction.
It was a very, very bad week of boxing. So much so that the most entertaining card was this Misfits boxing card where they fight. They fight for the ICP title. Or is it ICP?
I have no idea.
ICB, the Influencer Championship Boxing Champion of the world, the IBC title. It is what it is. And the funny thing is, I give DAZN credit usually because their production quality is usually on point, but maybe it was because they were working with, TV Azteca in Mexico, but it was all messed up, that they didn't even get the post-fight interview in all the way correct. So the ICP championship, there you go. The Insane Clown Posse championship. as my man JC says, big up again to JC because I didn't ding the bell for him loud enough at the beginning of the show. So I don't know if you got anything else to say. Maybe you can read out Tony Boswell's comment, and then we'll be moving on, Kenny.
Yeah. I think y'all will pull up a fight. And mid rounds 5 to 8, he did look decent the other day, but Beterbiev is a different type animal. Bro, no. Yarde will not put up a fight. Look, I have to wholeheartedly disagree with you. The last guy that put up a decent fight versus Beterbiev was he had the short dreads. He got a cut, and he had Beterbiev too.
Short braids. Marcus Brown. That was the last guy that even lasted, and it wasn't because he was that great. It was because his defense movement, Beterbiev was working, and the headbutt too, and the headbutt, yeah, 100%. But known for that.
100. Oh, definitely known for that. The second time it happened, but it was because of Marcus Brown's movement up to that point in that fight, and then after that point, the headbutt, it was all the headbutt and the blood coming that helped Marcus Brown last that long. Otherwise, Marcus Brown would have been a first 4-round out KO. And yes, I expect much less from Anthony Yarde because I think Anthony Yarde is much less of a fighter than Marcus Brown. If you put Marcus Brown versus Anthony Yarde, I'm putting my money on Marcus Brown. Hands down.
Kenny just went there. Marcus Brown over Anthony Yarde. So listen, we're going to get to the main part of the show. Excuse me, battling a little bit of a cold. I have been for the last couple of weeks. But, you know, I might not get the video as monetized as I'd like or monetize it all when I do this. But I got to do it. I have no choice but to do it because it's befitting. As soon as I saw this fight announced, Kenny, this is what happened in my head. Homie, I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler, homie. Come on. I mean, come on now. Swizz Beats. Always going to be a classic beat. Those are always going to be classic bars. I'm talking about Cassidy, I'm a hustler. Reason I'm saying that is because I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but this is nothing short of a hustle, Kenny. And you can't hustle a hustler. You know, I'm a teacher now, and, you know, I got my YouTube. I'm hustling on YouTube. I got my Airbnb. I'm hustling on Airbnb. I got my side hustles, right? And I've been a hustler since I was about 6 years old, selling newspapers. So, and by the way, the newspapers were newspapers. I'd put the coins in and I'd take out the whole stack from the box and then go and resell. That was you remember back when they had the newspaper boxes, right, Kenny?
Yes, sir.
That was my first hustle. I put in little 50 cents, grabbed me about 30 newspapers and start selling. Anyways, this is a hustle. This is a hustle. I mean, they announced Ryan Garcia was going to be fighting Tank Davis when? We don't know. On what network? We don't know. Where? We don't know. Lead promoter? We don't know. And then all of a sudden, they announced Tank versus Garcia. This Garcia. I guess we're supposed to be interested, right? I guess we're supposed to pay $80 to watch this. And by the way, you need to help your Dominican brother out with the swag coach when it comes to what's going on in this.
Look, I wish they allow me.
Don't they sell the straight razor in the DR? Don't they sell the shaving cream? Can we get to it, please?
They got it all, bro. I don't know what he's doing, man.
So, I mean, it's nothing but a hustle. Anyways, you got to give me your thoughts. I mean, I know he's Dominican, but he's a paper champ at 130, and that's bringing him up to 135. It's going to be $80. It's going to be on pay-per-view. Guys, I hope you have a lot of money saved up for 2023, because Canelo's going to be pay-per-view, whoever he's fighting. Ruiz against Wilder's going to be pay-per-view. Plant against Benavidez is going to be pay-per-view. If Tank and Ryan Garcia happens, that's going to be pay-per-view. Hell, Tank against Hector Garcia is a pay-per-view. Talk to me, Kenny.
Definitely going to be here the pay-per-view. I'll be selective on which ones I buy. I'll probably do a fight party for Garcia only because he's Dominican. He about to get the big bag for getting knocked out or losing the fight, but which he probably will lose. You know what I'm saying? The guy, I don't think Gervonta Tank Davis is like a very talented fighter. That yes, he fights nobody, but regardless of fighting nobodies for a while, he's extremely talented and he has a lot of power. Garcia, I think, is maybe a little too fresh off the Dominican boat to fight Tank, but it is what it is. They want to take him while he's young and inexperienced so they could beat him up. And oh yeah, well, we beat him up long ago. We beat him, you know. They want to do that little trick and scheme. And it is what it is. I ain't mad at it. Let Garcia get the big bag. Is it a great fight for boxing though? No. It's a great fight for my Dominican culture though. Yeah. But no.
Are they gonna be watching?
Probably not.
You know what? We're gonna do a little test. Kenny lives right by a barbershop, Dominican barbershop. I want you to go into that barbershop, Kenny. Maestro.
They're not watching.
Maestro's giving you some homework.
I talk to them about boxing all the time. Every time that I talk to them about boxing, they always say the same shit. Boxing is trash. Boxing is fake. Boxing is scripted. Boxing is for old heads. Boxing is nothing. You want to see some real fighting? Go watch MMA. Boxing is trash. Boxing. This is all that comes from their mouth. Boxing is fake, scripted. It's all about the money. You never get into the real fights. Mayweather was made to win every time. It was all scripted, bro. I'm good. I'm not going to the Dominican barbershop to talk about boxing. They stay trashing the shit out of boxing every time I go down there and talk about boxing. I'm good.
Wow. Oh, let's get to the super chat from the day one, the OG himself, Mr. Nando Llamas. Okay, he says PBC, Pep Boys Champs Boxing. Home of the $75 tune-up. Man, that is pretty accurate. Pretty accurate statement. I gotta go with this. I gotta give it to you, man. That's a good one, bro. I mean, it's kind of looking that way. I mean, I don't know how they're gonna sell this to people. I really don't.
I mean, it's Tank, bro. I guarantee you, it's gonna be a heavy pay-per-view, bro. My friends that don't watch boxing that come over and hang out, they hit me up. Like, they don't hit me up for none of the other big fights. They don't hit me up for Beterbiev, Bivol, Canelo, Bivol. They don't hit me up for nothing. But when Tank is fighting, they contact me. Yo, so I heard that the Young the Money team fighter, he's fighting, you know, little knockout kid, the little fro, you know, little. Oh my god, it's terrible that he's like the cool hood fighter to watch. You know what I'm saying? Like hood dude, and what I mean by hood dudes is you know, my neighborhoods with lesser money, ghetto neighborhoods and shit. People that come from those neighborhoods, they 100% know who Tank is, but they don't know who the rest of these boxers are. They love Tank. They love them some Tank. It's the fight is gonna sell, not because of Gomez, because of Tank and how these minorities from these lower class neighborhoods love him.
Well, yeah, I mean, they do love Tank Davis, and I always watch Tank Davis fight. He's very exciting. It's very rare you're going to see Tank Davis in a bad fight. But I said it before, Mayweather Promotions has been holding him back. I mean, check this. Floyd has been more active, and he's the promoter, than Tank Davis has. Floyd has fought in more of these exhibitions this year than Tank Davis has had fights. I mean, at some point, he's got to realize that he's got to get off of the Mayweather protection plan because it's holding him back. And at 135, the fights we want to see him in there are the likes of Lomachenko, the likes of Devin Haney, the likes of even Shakur Stevenson, who's going to be moving up. I mean, Hector Garcia, I get it. He got a little title there at 130, but it's not like the full title, obviously. And now, you know, it's gonna be him against Tank Davis at 135. Look, I'm gonna bring in two people real quick. We might as well just do a mano style, bring two in at the same time. We've got Mr. Tony P, my fellow teacher. Ding the bell for Tony. All right, that's my brethren from out there. And I also got my main man, Modern King Boxing, all the way there with us.
The name is Tony E, okay? Tony E, all right? Not P, Tony E, okay? And that stands for LRB, okay? Let's do it.
Rude boy, watch your mouth, you might get some gunshot in a bomber, you see? Hey, you see when the Englishman brings out the Jamaican patois, you know, in trouble, you know? Because, you know, when you bring them thing then, you see them Dominican brother, you see? Hey, rude boy. So anyway.
Stop flaming me, bro. Stop flaming me.
Really, I'm going to ask you to go, and then I want Modern King to chime in. But do me a favor and sell this to us. I'm struggling. What's going on here? Can you
My guy, I cannot sell this trash.
Okay.
Oh, I did not expect that.
This trash,
bro. The money team marketing. Tony Ellerby. Oh my God, no.
If you can't sell Tony on a Tank Davis fight, we're having problems right now. So the hustle didn't work for you either. Then that they announced Tank to Ryan first and then gave you this.
Hell to the no, bro. Hell to the capital N-O. This is a straight hustle.
It's okay. We're all on the same page. Modern King Boxing, are you on the same page with us?
You know what? Kinda like, but I'm always optimistic, but I ain't nobody's fool. I think that they're trying to distract us, but I'm really kind of looking forward to both of those fights because I'm such a thirst hog when it comes to like those little guys mixing it up. And we've seen what Hector Garcia was doing to Colbert. So to me, it's an interesting fight. I got it like a Leo Santa Cruz 2.0 versus Tank Davis. And then if that's a great fight, I'm gonna be really thirsty, and I might actually buy Tank versus Ryan. You see what I'm saying? I think it's a distraction, though.
But this is the hustle. So they want you to pay $80 to warm you up for another $80 pay-per-view. Right? So you're paying $80 for the warm-up. I mean, look, the Pitbull Cruz was a little bit of a surprise, if you guys remember, because Pitbull was brought out as a replacement opponent for Rolly, who had the fight canceled, even though he hadn't been convicted of a crime. And later on, it was found that those allegations were false. But they moved him off of the fight. They brought in Pitbull, and Pitbull did better than people thought he would. There's no doubt about that. Okay. Santa Cruz, was a little bit competitive before the knockout happened. Rolly, same thing, but you maybe I'm too much of a conspiracy theory, but I'm starting to think that Tank is like carrying these guys before knocking them out. I mean, he definitely looked like he was carrying Rolly before he knocked out Rolly. Like, he was not putting up much opposition. It wasn't the Tank Davis that we saw step to and walk down and knock out Sniper Pedraza. We haven't seen that guy in a while. We see a guy who's like my cats. You know what cats do? Big cats like tigers down the small house cats. They play around. They catch a little prey. They play with it for a little bit. And, they take it out.
For sure.
And that's kind of what I've been seeing Tank Davis do recently. I mean, what more can he do when his fights are on pay-per-view? You can't go out there and get rid of these guys in 30 seconds to a minute.
Guy's got hella skills, bro, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm dealing with my guys' hella skills. Yeah, to label him a knockout artist is derogatory to the guy. He's got hella skills. He got the power and the skills. We all know Shakur got the skills, but he don't got the power. Yeah, my guy got the power and the skills, and I'm sure me and Nando gonna be having it because Nando already told me and him gonna be having some paper exchanging hands when Ryan gets disposed of by my guy, Tank Davis.
Well, here's my thing, Tony. You know the expression steel sharpens steel, iron sharpens iron, right? What does tinfoil do?
Crumbles up, right?
Yeah, what does aluminum foil prepare you for? Aluminum foil.
You know what? That's a trend, though, right? Because we saw Yarde do that last night. We saw Yarde in against tinfoil last night, right? Ahead of a fight against one of the most destructive fighters in the game of boxing, he fought tinfoil.
Yes, he did. And
after 12 months out the ring.
And that's not going to prepare him for Beterbiev. Go for it, Modern King.
This whole idea of Tank, like how he baits his competitors, and it's like he does seem like he carries them. I'm starting to think that this was all orchestrated by Tank's team. They like to bait people into thinking that they're struggling, and when in fights, like maybe like a Venom Page would do if he was the boxer. Like, and then you get pow, bang, boom. Then then the guy is just floating in the air. I mean, I think it's all for entertainment value. I would like to see a box more, be challenged more. Which that part is what we feel boxing is about. Is when you getting challenged each and every round. But he just kind of plays with us, and then he plays with his opponents, and then eventually he just like makes it look easy. So it's like he's kind of cheating the real fans, but he's also entertaining the casuals at the same time. You know what I mean? To me.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
And can I just say, on the subject of tin cans and tin foil, we saw Munguia doing the same thing. How many fights did Zerdo fight tin foil? And then now he gets in a championship ring and he gets exposed for his inability.
I just like to say, I told you so.
Game.
I just like to say, everybody, I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. I told you. I told you Zoldo was not that guy. I told you Zoldo was not that guy.
You were saying that Sullivan Barrera and Unieski Gonzalez and all these other guys aren't
tinfoil
preparation for Bivol, and you were right. And look, I mean, I don't even remember the name of the guy that Anthony Yarde fought yesterday. That's how irrelevant that fight was. I don't even remember his name. I don't remember it. But the thing with Tank Davis, guys, is Tank Davis has been feeding off of guys that are either weight trained at 140 like Barrios, or brought up in weight like this guy Garcia, Hector Garcia is going to be, or Santa Cruz was. Or, I mean, the only real lightweights he's fought recently, if you think about it, are Rolly Romero, who was a novice, if we're going to be accurate about it. The guy hadn't even had 15 fights yet. He was a novice. And then the other guy was Pitbull Cruz. What exactly are his top fights at 135?
Ask the same question about Ryan Garcia, bro.
Luke Campbell.
Luke Campbell was Ryan's like novice guy, but Tank was just Pedraza to me. Leo Santa Cruz, that was wishy-washy. So I don't think he got like a signature 135 win that we could all be proud of. That's just my opinion.
Ryan Garcia ain't got one neither.
Luke Campbell was a legit win.
Come on now. Luke Campbell is feather-fisted, and he still knocked Ryan down.
I think that was a good win as well.
I mean,
where is Luke Campbell right now? Because let me tell you about something.
Retired because he got
the guy took the money because he knew he was done in the game. But he was like, you know what? This guy want to give me some money. I'm gonna take some money. There are people in the sport, who are just like at the end of their game, and they're like, you know what? I'll take that fight. Yeah.
I don't know if he was at the end of his career, man. I think he Ryan Garcia retired him. He got beat up by the young dude. That was not expected.
His game was finished way before Ryan. Trust me. I like Luke.
I mean, he fought Lomachenko. He had fights there that were high level fights that were preparation for Ryan Garcia.
Beat the hell up by Lomachenko. Let's be honest.
I mean, it went the distance, did it not? I think it went close to the distance.
Was it a close fight?
I mean, I don't think it was that close. No.
You're capping if you say it was close. If he got one round, he was lucky.
I think that's a little harsh, Tony.
No, bro. No, look at that fight again. Lomachenko was eating steak with Luke Campbell.
I mean, look,
Wagyu.
Modern King, anything to add? And appreciate you joining in with us. Oh, Modern King left, so it's the three of us now. Thank you for joining us, Modern King. Ding the bell for Modern King. Look, you can sell us on Tank's track record at 135, Tony, all you want.
It ain't great.
It's non-existent is how bad it is. I mean, his fights at 135 off the top of my head are a Gamboa, right? A Gamboa fight that took him near damn way all the way to the limit, even though he was on on a bad Achilles, right?
Santa Cruz after.
Santa Cruz, who's nowhere near a lightweight.
Then he went up to fight Barrios at 140.
Barrios at 130, 40 was weight drained as fuck. And then after
Cruz after that.
Isaac Cruz, a replacement opponent, and Rolly after that, who is what? A lightweight novice. Look, until he fights somebody, I'm not even rating him at 135 anymore. I can't do it. He's behind.
I'm seriously not gonna deny that what you've just said is 100% true. Yeah.
Let me ask you this: what is Tank's weight class?
He was a super featherweight. He's now a lightweight. Yeah.
Okay,
he's
so
fought as high as junior welterweight. But let's be honest, his best days were at super featherweight. Yeah, where he could have dominated, he could have cleaned up, but his team are trash. And yes, I'm gonna take that L on the head. Leonard Ellaby and Al Heyman are trash.
Damn, bro, you gonna say that about your cousin?
Of the kid.
You gonna say that about your cousin, bro? How you gonna talk about Ellaby like that?
Nah, bro, that guy is trash.
Damn, bro.
Look, here's my thing. I agree. At the end of the day, I made a stream of punchlines a while ago. I called it "Time to Get Out." You know, like the Jordan Peele movie. It's time to get out and away from the Mayweather plantation. Your promoter is making more money than you are fighting exhibitions and is doing them more often than you are fighting. And then the fights you have are meaningless fights. I mean, Tank Davis is a highly talented guy. Kenny said it earlier. He's got a built-in fan base. People from the inner city, right? They love him. All right. He's got a built-in network of places that push him out there and support him here in the United States. He needs to step up and fight somebody. Like, I don't know who the name is exactly, but if the reason he can't get names is because he's aligned with the wrong promotional outfit, then maybe it's time for him to make a move, much in the way that Devin did. Devin made a move to Top Rank. That's where the fighters are at 135.
Just a point. I don't know if you've seen the back and forth between Gervonta Tank Davis and Ray Jackson regarding Floyd last night.
I did. I don't know. I don't know if it's
That's
still.
all you need to know. Tank knows where he's at. He knows what the situation is with this clown managing his career. I think the boy mentally is challenged because he seems unable to get himself out of a bad situation and into a better situation, despite the fact that he could do that.
Yeah, and he seemed.
Let's be honest, guys. Boxers ain't sometimes the cleverest tricks in the book, are they?
I mean,
he's saying like it is. He's a fantastic boxer, but he ain't no brain of America. He ain't winning no spelling bee.
I wholeheartedly co-sign. I agree with you. I'm with you on that.
I mean, I'm going to pull up what Tony was talking about here right now. Hold on, I'll bring it up and then I'll read it. I don't know if you can see that screen to read it, Kenny. Can you see it? Is it big enough?
Yeah.
All right, look at it. Could you read the original tweet and then the response?
People love lies more than the truth. That's why. No, that's not the original. That's the reply. The original is Ray Jackson or Gervonta? Ray Jackson. No, Gervonta. Yeah. Because the love was gone.
No. Read the Ray Jackson one first.
Ah, okay. I see the sequence. Okay. Tank Davis has 2 fights lined up next year, and the boss, Floyd, hasn't mentioned anything about it. The boss, because Floyd is no boss. Floyd is a boss on paper. He's just a guy. Floyd is more like the financial investor that calls himself the boss. You feel me? The boss is more of Al Heyman, the guy who stays behind, doesn't talk to nobody, doesn't take any of the backlash, doesn't care about any of the backlash because he's the businessman, whatever. Tank Davis goes, because the love was gone when I knocked Rolly out. Crazy thing, I was other than my mom's house. That's not even.
He was over at his mom's house.
Yeah, I was over my mom's over, not other, but okay. I was over at my mom's house the other night. She told me how Leonard was telling people how Rolly was gonna knock me out, and my uncles that started me in boxing overheard him. Go look at the fight and watch my mom. Yeah, you damn right. He ain't no brain. You goddamn right. He ain't no brain.
I mean, I've been saying this for a while, and but there have been people out here. Oh, you're a hater. You're this. You're that. I'm not hating. I'm just telling the truth. I want better for Tank Davis.
People hate the truth. The truth hurts. When you tell people
Tank Davis, I want to see Tank Davis showing the talent that he has against higher level competition. Because
the truth is painful.
If the plan is making him money, and work smarter, not harder, like Floyd says, we're going to keep everything in house. We're not going to make other people money, et cetera, et cetera. I've gone through all of it on past streams, right? Well, how come Floyd's making so much more money off of boxing right now? A guy who's like closing in on 50. How come he's making more than you when you're the fighter and he's the promoter? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. So as much as I call that one a hustle, there's another hustle one as well that I want to get to next. But Tony, if you got anything else to add to the Tank Davis before we move on, let me know.
No, bro, I said my piece. It is what it is. As Kenny KO likes to say, It is what it is, and that is the truth.
I'm just happy for the payday for my man Garcia. You know what I'm saying? Bring some of that bag back to DR. We broke over there. We need all the help we could get. Bring some of that money back to DR for us.
Well, you gotta start out with the barbershops, Kenny. You gotta get your local Dominican, my Caribbean brothers from the DR. You gotta get those guys, lined up to support their compatriot.
Nah, listen, man. If there's something that you know about Dominicans, is that they're stubborn as hell. Dominican, I'm serious. You go talk to them. They're all older individuals too. So if I go downstairs and talk to them, they're gonna be like, "Yeah, okay, young man, you don't know anything of what you're talking about. You haven't been in this world long enough to tell me that you know what you're talking about. You know what you're talking about, young one." And I'm just like, bro, I'm old as hell. I'm a grown man. What are you talking like? I just stopped talking because the logic that they come doesn't even make sense. So now we're not gonna talk to them about boxing. We just gonna leave it as is and let them have their mindset. And I'll talk to other people about it. Fuck that.
Well, the funny thing, the same strategy being used by Team Tank, okay?
Bait and switch.
It's also being used in another fight, and I want Tony, now that he's joining us straight out of the UK. Big up my man Tony. I gotta do it again. He's also a teacher. He's also a former amateur fighter, just like myself. Can
I give you something else that you've exposed today that I can tell you and I have got in common?
What's
that? We both sold newspapers, bro.
We both sold newspapers.
that wasn't
the same hustle when I was a kid.
Same hustle.
That wasn't a thing in my neighborhood, bro. I probably would have sold newspapers. So we were selling candy for school.
So there's another one, and I gotta do it again. They're hustling. They're selling this fight. At least this one's not on pay-per-view. At least this one is at least on regular DAZN. But this whole card, this main event is like, let me audition for Anthony Joshua. That's what we really want. So we're gonna give serve Whyte up, not with Daniel Dynamite Dubois, which is the fight I wanted to see. I wanted to see that passing of the torch fight in England.
I don't ever want to see Whyte fight. Stop it. Whyte needs to retire.
Younger head. Let me see Daniel Dynamite Dubois defend his WBA regular championship of the world against Dillian Whyte.
You trying to see? You trying to see Whyte get knocked out again, bro?
Instead, I'm seeing Kenny Jermaine Franklin, whose claim to fame is fighting Jerry Forrest But again, we're supposed to be interested in this, Tony. Why? Apparently because the winner's going to get a little shot at AJ. I mean, come on now.
Okay. Let allow me to entertain the crowd with some knowledge.
They're setting it up for the rematch with White.
So number one, I will be at this fight. I will be in attendance at Wembley Arena.
Of course, it's gonna be free to attend. It's gonna be free to attend. Of course,
Jamaican bad boy, original bad maximum violence in the house. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
You know what? They hired the former paper boy Tony P to hand out the freebie tickets all over London. That's what's happening. Going to every Caribbean barbershop. He's even going to the Nigerians to give out these tickets.
So unlike Kenny, the Jamaican Massive do have enough love, for the rude boy from Jamaica. Yeah, so yeah, we follow our boy. We gave him all the support when he was challenging Tyson Fury, the immovable object.
Yeah.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
You might say
the greatest
that Jermaine Franklin, has his best win against Jerry Forrest.
Yeah.
Yes, this is true. But my guy is undefeated. 21-0, 14 KOs. Do not think that this cat is a scrub.
Oh my God! Are we doing the Zoldo thing again? Oh
no, my guy.
Oh, the Jaime Munguia thing. Because look, 40-something fights, it don't matter if you're fighting against paper bags. You know what I'm saying? Brown paper bags.
Okay.
Only thing I'm doing that was only in London. Say it, Tony. Only in London. I like no Don King action from you.
Okay, so let me just give my guy a little bit of props and say, do not think this is an easy tinfoil KO for Dillian Whyte, because this guy does not know what losing is about. He has not lost a fight in his career.
Well, it sounds
has
to
he lost a fight in his career?
He hasn't lost a fight, but it sounds to me like you'd rather see him than Daniel Dubois. Is that what you're saying?
Has Daniel Dubois lost a fight?
Okay, that's what I thought. So because Daniel Dubois has lost to the Juggernaut, who by the way is my number 2 ranked heavyweight in the UK, Joe the Juggernaut. Ding the bell. All right.
I appreciate that.
Because he lost to the Juggernaut. Jugga. Choo, the Juggernaut.
That's funny.
Because he lost to the Juggernaut, you're gonna tell me that Jermaine Franklin's a better opponent, and that this is a good fight.
But hang on a second. Did Jerry Forrest draw with Gilles Zhang? Did he draw with Michael Hunter? Did he lose a split decision or a UD close decision to Kubrat Pulev?
I got it. So Jerry Forrest is beating Dillian Whyte. We got it. Book it. Tony, book it. Jerry Forrest going out there.
So we ain't going about that business and saying, oh yeah, well his best win was against just Jerry Forrest, because it ain't just Jerry Forrest. Jerry Forrest ain't no scrub. I'm kind of coming like Stephen A. Smith right now. I don't like a brother coming up and saying that, Jerry Forrest is some kind of scrap.
Got it. So clearly, we're gonna, to believe it or not, the fight I'm most interested in on this card might be the return of my brother Richards. Okay,
Craig Richards
against Bolotniks. That's actually a good fight. Richards
That's
against.
why I'm in attendance. That's the main reason I'm in attendance.
That's a good fight, and your boy Fabio Wardley is taking on the best opponent of his career, Nathan Gorman. Okay.
Decent card.
So what I'm going to say about this card and what separates it from this, I'm going to give them full, because it separates from this one here. All right. It separates from this one. This one is a bigger hustle because it's on pay-per-view. They're going to charge $80 for it. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable to me. All right, I can't do that. All right, but at least this one is on regular DAZN. Okay, they're not charging any money. We got Richards, Bolotniks, we got Gorman, we've got against Fabio Wardley, right?
Mhm.
Fabio Wardley is being Dillian's understudy along with Alan Babbage. Okay,
We don't care about any of those guys.
and then we've got in the main event, you know, the return of Brixton's own Dillian Whyte. Okay. Taking on a guy that Tony P is convinced Kenny. Tony P's done a great job of convincing Kenny. I saw Kenny nodding his head like when you were talking up Jerry Forrest, right? So, you know, maybe you sold me a little bit. Maybe you sold me. I don't know. Kenny, has he sold you on this card?
No. Sorry. I don't care about any of those fighters on that card. And definitely not. I'm sorry, bro. White is just not that guy. Like, I don't want to see White. Like, it was time for White to retire. I don't want to see him against Fury. I don't want to see him against Joshua. I don't want to see him against Deontay Wilder. I don't want to see him against Ruiz. I don't want to see him against Joe Joyce. I don't want to see. I don't want to see him against anybody.
There's like, I want to see him in there. I want Joseph Parker to get a rematch with White because he got hit with a headbutt. They called it a knockdown, and then he lost a very close decision that probably
I didn't think he lost
or gone his way. So let's come back fight for Joe Joyce. Sorry, for Joe Parker. Unfortunately, he's with Sky now, so it's going to be a little difficult. But Dillian Whyte. But Dillian's going to get the AJ fight. You know, they're bringing him back. They want to make AJ look good, Tony. But go ahead, Tony.
So my point in regards to Kenny's destruction of my guy, Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte has lost 3 fights.
A brutal knockout. Finish the sentence.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, it's a fact, right?
Okay. But here's the funny thing, though.
Tony, complete. You teach the children. No. You teach the next generation.
All right. So here where I'm going to take this now. So did not Dillian Whyte brutally knock out Derek Chisora? Brutally knock out Derek Chisora. Who is fighting whom?
Yeah, but he got the assistance. He got the assistance of Ian John Lewis on that one.
I've been saying that Derek Chisora is a washed-up fighter forever. I've been saying Derek Chisora needs to retire forever. Derek Chisora is just a tough guy. He's not a great boxer anymore. He's done.
Right. So
he needs to go.
I got a question for you, Kenny. We tried to classify some time ago between elite fighters, contenders, gatekeepers.
Keeper Joni Min. We're gonna get back at that. We're gonna do that again.
All right. I'm just interested to see where Chisora and Dillian Whyte are in those rankings right now.
Derek Chisora and Dillian Whyte. Well, the difference is Derek Chisora is coming off some wins. He's in the win column recently. Okay. He got that big win against Pulev. I actually thought Pulev won that fight, but that's another story. Same. He got credit for it. He was competitive against Joseph Parker, especially the first fight. Dillian didn't win a 10-second interval of his fight with Tyson Fury. In my humble estimation, I didn't see it. But the question to you, Tony, is because it's not over here in the United States. Is this on pay-per-view in the UK? This is on
this
Skype?
Is on yes, this is on BT pay-per-view.
Okay, so I got to give it the whole treatment then. They're hustling. I'll give you that credit. They're hustling.
And when you talk about tinfoil, look at the undercard of that fight. You've got a guy who is apparently the WBA champion,
regular champion,
fighting a cruiserweight. Lorena is a cruiserweight.
He is a cruiserweight. What are they doing?
If I'm not mistaken, on his record is a knockout loss to a middleweight.
Yeah, but Dillian didn't want it though, so that's why he's fighting him. Well, I mean, that's the rumor. That's the rumor out there that Shane McGuigan's talking. Okay, so Shane McGuigan is saying Dillian didn't want the fight. I mean, it is what it is, right?
So Dillian doesn't want the fight. There's about another 20 guys in the heavyweights, legitimate heavyweight division that you could have chosen, and you came out with that guy?
Yeah, that's a pretty bad look. I'm not gonna.
That's a bad look, bro.
What I will say, to be honest,
boy.
I'll be honest. This card here, especially the undercard, I gotta be honest. The undercard does look better than this card.
Thank you.
If I'm gonna keep it real, it does. Like, I'm more Kenny. I know you're not interested in Fabio Worley Gorman or Richards Balatniks, but there actually should be competitive fights, interesting fights.
Even the main event, my bro, because Fury against Chisora, let's be honest, that's a cakewalk.
I mean, he getting washed, Lorena. Lorena is getting washed. He's getting steamrolled.
And what's happening to Chisora? He's getting dog walked around the ring, bro.
All of these fights are jokes, bro. Both cards are doo-doo.
He's going to get the Tank Davis treatment. He's going to carry Chisora for a few rounds. Just carry him, you know, and then, bam! This is my Teddy Atlas. You
even had the blink of the eyes and the jump.
And he's gonna knock him out. So that's it was a terrible week of boxing. Tony got his fix. He was watching the he was enjoying the Misfits card. You got the Misfits.
I don't watch that. I've never watched one of them fights.
Bro,
bro.
If you would have watched yesterday, I tell you, you would have enjoyed your time more than just watching the Munguia card, bro. I was even watching the YouTube card along with my friends. I wasn't watching the Munguia card. I only went to watch the Munguia fight, and then it was doo-doo. You know, it is what it is.
It is what it is. So, but do me a favor, everybody, before you get out of here, make sure you hit the like button. All right, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching on demand, drop a comment. You know, I try my best to respond to everybody. And also make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do when you're subscribed to my channel, because you also got to look out for the punchlines. I'm definitely going to do a couple punchlines this week.
Gorilla than the planet of the apes. I write a punchline and plant it on your face. Eat a punch that you ain't even got to taste. Here's a shot that you ain't even got to chase.
But until then, you got to make sure you're checking out Tony P and my other brethren from the UK, Mr. Bass the Kid. He says he's a hardcore casual. He's no casual. He's hard.
Hell no.
He is hardcore. He's a very knowledgeable guy. Make sure you tune in for all of his content. Support my brothers at the Undefeated Podcast. That's Trav and KG. All right. And support Tony P because he's riding with all of those guys and has his show Tuesday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific time. All right. 8 p.m. out there in the UK. It is The Breakdown. It's the best breakdown show on YouTube. I'm just saying it is what it is. It's the best breakdown show.
Thank you, sir.
Nobody's breaking it down like those two guys. It's not happening. So, Tony P, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. We'll see you soon.
Salute, gentlemen.
And I'll connect with you during the week, brother. You take care.
Thank you, bro.
All right. That was Tony P. And Kenny, any last words before we get up out of here?
Nah, man. Go listen to KO Kenny. Follow me on all social media at The Real KO Kenny. Show me love. Show me support. Let's make it happen. Let's keep growing.
Absolutely. And until that time, we will see all of you next week for more Mano a Mano and during the week for Punchlines. Take care, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Chrome hearts at the Caesar's Palace. I was a sneaker savage, undefeated baggage. K-bar, you can be established. A 230s, that's 69s. You can eat a salad while you feed a phallus. I speak in palettes that compete with graphics. At the speed of cheetah gallops at indecent average. Chopsticks when I be eating Garrett's. Philippe receipt embarrassed, you can't see the marriage. That's why I started this in Vegas. Proposed to my toast, Neo's married to the Matrix. But I hate this bitch like I'm married to a racist. An addict, so the kilos get buried in the basements. Speed the wagon like Rio's, vicarious, vivacious. Patois noir, but the Creole is basic. So when I'm around them Haitians, I don't even say shit. Last album sounded like I was signed to a spaceship. Brain was on drugs and my eyes was on LASIK. And the shit got legs, I don't think that I can chase it. With rocket power with A6, but the next one's coming with cases and witness protection facelifts. For the fans, why hit them with kabams when the germaphobe jab can wash a nigga with hands? I am not in my feelings, I'm in my glands. I am not no bitch, I'm in a trance. Pandemic gimmicks got niggas all in the scams. Panhandling brilliance put lyrics all in their hands. Alan Watts got Watts living without a plan. But I want the smokes while the kitchen ain't got no fans. L.